What's good, guys? Welcome back to Talking at the Movies. I'm Eddie Santonio.
And I'm Mo.
What's happening, Mo?
Oh, what is happening, man? It's the same old. Apart from the fact that from next week, we might actually be able to book a vaccination in our age range.
Yeah. So you definitely going to be the first in the queue?
Mate, I'll be saying, like, here's the arm, stick the needle in, let's restart humanity.
Yeah. I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I think I said this before, but I'm like, can I be bothered? I'll get round to it when I really get round to it, when I get cornered.
Yeah, you'll be like in the hospital thing. I wish I'd got the thing. Oh my God.
So, guys, another week, movie, TV related news. So what we're going to be talking about this week, we're going to be reviewing the new HBO show, He How Shall Not Be Named, but we'll name him, Joss Whedon's new show, The Nevers. We got CW's new Kung Fu reboot. We got Falcon the Winter Soldier, obviously, and Amazon's Invincible. And Thunder Force from Mo. Give us an excuse.
Which Eddie didn't bother to watch. That's how much he cares about you, audience. That he could not be bothered to watch this week's big film.
And at the end, we're going to be continuing our MCU rewatch. And this week, Mo, which what we got?
We have got the Guardians of the Galaxy, where shit gets real. Literally.
So, before we get to all that, Mo, what have you been watching?
What else have I been watching? Right, so I checked out the first episode of a show I've been meaning to watch for a while. I originally thought I wasn't going to like it at all, but it's had a lot of praise. It's up for a few awards, and I actually really liked it. So, Kelly, what's it? I don't know how you pronounce her surname, Coco, Cuckoo, whatever. Penny from The Big Bang Theory. She's got a show on HBO called The Flight Attendant.
Oh, yeah, Solomon was raving about that. He said he really liked it.
Yeah, I watched first episode and it was really good. Now, just imagine you're a flight attendant, right? You're living the party lifestyle. Every time you go to a city, get a club, you go dancing, you find yourself a fella, you bring him back to the room, you have a fun time, you wake up, you get back on the plane and repeat, rinse and repeat. Now, imagine you meet Mr. Rich guy who's really charming, who's really nice, who takes you on the most amazing date, right? You wake up the next morning in bed to find that he is dead. And not only is he dead, his throat is slit and there is blood everywhere. And you are in Bangkok, where they make a point of telling the audience that somebody got put in prison for 5 years for littering. You definitely don't want to be calling the authorities that you've woken up with a dead dude next to you.
It's all right. Just leave the hotel room and you're straight on the plane anyway. It'll be a while before they get in. Keep a don't disturb note on the door.
This is it, man. So that it's really quirky. It's really cool. She's actually a really good actress because she does exactly what you say, right? She takes a chance, and the whole time, like, she is so paranoid. Like, like she's on a bus to the airport and she hears like police sirens, and she actually starts freaking out and stuff like that.
Is it
the whole time she's on
room?
No, it's not her room.
So that should be okay then. So the name's not going to be on the.
Well, yeah, but you can't do anything nowadays. Like, should have left DNA evidence behind.
True.
There could be cameras. Again, these fancy hotels, mate.
Oh, okay.
Mate, those fancy hotels. I've stayed at that hotel that was in the Hangover 2, and that was a beautiful, gorgeous, luxurious hotel. And this one looked absolutely stunning.
So worth checking out then. I keep hearing a lot about it.
Oh, yeah.
Mixed thing. Some people like it, some not so much. You're saying?
I mean, it's only like 8 episodes. Each episode's like 45 minutes. I'm basing it on the first episode so far. And when something only runs for like 8 episodes, I think hopefully it's difficult for it to outstay its welcome.
Yeah. Okay. The hostess. Yeah, this really is her first time to really show what she's got, to flex her acting muscles. Because all she's done is sitcoms. Big Bang Theory for, I don't know, a decade almost.
12 years. 12 seasons.
And then before that, what's it? How to date my 10 rules of dating my daughter, or some shit like that.
8 simple rules for dating my daughter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still impressive, right? Because she was actually quite young in that, so she still sustained a career from being a young sort of like teenager right through to like where she is now. Generally, you tend to have like those hit shows and you then just disappear.
Actually curious to check out the other, the other woman from Big Bang Theory, the nerdy one that in real life is super
Oh
intelligent.
yeah. Call Me Cat or something.
Yeah. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Did you ever watch or hear of a UK show called Miranda?
I've only heard of it because of Call Me Cat.
Oh yeah, because she's done remade that.
She's
show.
done a remake of it. Yeah, I've watched the first episode. I'm not entirely sure it'll be your type of show, Eddie.
That's a shame because I really liked Miranda. It's a good show.
I haven't actually seen it. I might check that out just to see what it's like.
If you're into UK sitcoms that are done well, yeah, that's one of them. So what else, Mark?
And then so I finally did it. I know you and Salim really poo-pooed this, but I checked out King Arthur, Legend of the Sword by Guy Ritchie.
And
you know what? It's actually not a bad film at all. It is Guy Ritchie is trying to step out of his comfort zone. There is a lot of CGI. There is a lot of the King Arthur legend in this. There are very much many of the Guy Ritchie hallmarks of the way that people talk and behave.
Yeah.
And I don't find that off-putting at all. I know you find like the minute you step away from like real history, and the King Arthur isn't really a real, it is a legend, so you can interpret anyway.
Yeah.
I actually didn't find that part off-putting at all.
But everyone's just like talking Cockney, innit? That's the only weird thing about it for some people.
But that's fine.
We don't really know how they talk. Whereabouts is Camelot, the theoretical area of Camelot located? In the Midlands somewhere?
I have no idea. I just assumed it's London, right? Because everything happens in London.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Camelot. Is also a legendary, mysterious place that doesn't exist.
But I think theoretically, people think if it did exist, Midlands somewhere. But
I'd give it a 3. It's absolutely definitely worth a watch. It does kind of go from like this narrative-driven story right to like a action type film halfway through it. But I thought
can you see the potential? Because he intended this to be like a 5-part.
Yeah, he did indeed. There absolutely is, because it's got the whole 9 yards when it comes to like fantasy, right? It's a very fantasy oriented film. It's got like the mages, it's got like wizards, it's got like dragons, it's got the works. So you could have easily have turned this into a 6-part film.
Is it a shame that it didn't? Do you feel like it's a shame it didn't?
Oh, it is, because I actually kind of enjoyed this. There was a lot of good stuff in here for fantasy. And I do wonder if some of the film has been trimmed for like running, because it is about a 2-hour movie, and I wonder if there was more that the studio got cold feet on.
Possibly, yeah. This got butchered when it came out, like review-wise.
But on IMDb, it's got a fairly okay score. I think it's like it's either just under a 7 or it is a 7.
It's not bad.
Yeah, I think the critics were very, very harsh on it when it came out.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's what I mean. Maybe this would have been a better fantasy TV show on Netflix.
It's a 6.7, so it's just shy of a 7.
Pretty average.
Yeah. And I want to draw your attention to. I saw a proper old school film that I know you'll be into, and I'm hoping we can get some of our audience to watch this. It's a Stephen Chow movie called From Beijing with Love.
Oh wow! Yeah,
it is a James Bond spoof, which is incredibly funny.
Yeah, does it hold up? It's been a little while.
Well, I've never seen it before, and I love that sort of like Stephen Chow, like slapstick humor.
I like Stephen Chow, but I don't actually think I seen this one either. This might be one of the ones that slipped past me. Yeah.
Yeah. So it literally is. He like plays a incompetent secret agent type character that somehow, towards obviously by the end, solves the case and does everything. There are lots of like silly gags in it. There is the man with the golden gun. There is the Jaws type character. It's literally like every James Bond movie. This is from like 90 something.
It's interesting that you watched an old film, because I also watched an old Asian one, so.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, and the only other thing I watched was I'm not going to dwell on this too long. Was I was in the mood for a comedy the other night, and I decided to put on Sex Drive, because I saw that once when it came out, and I didn't like it, but I watched it the other night, and it was a fun film,
fun gross out teen comedy.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
it's the thing that amazed me was, the main girl in it who goes on the road trip with them. I did not realize she grows up to be the lady who was in Silicon Valley. Like her face has dramatically changed in that sort of like that 10-year span. I mean, literally dramatically changed.
Okay, I'll check her out.
Yeah,
I know who the actress you're talking about, but I don't think she
yeah.
looks that different now.
But yeah, it was a, you know, it really does prove that sometimes you can watch a film and not be in the mood and not enjoy it, and then you can be in the right mood and you can totally enjoy a film.
Yeah, back then we were comparing every sort of adult teen comedy to like American Pie. And a lot of them,
And all of those others,
weren't really holding up. But in hindsight, a lot of them were fun. Even Road Trip. Go back and watch Road Trip. They're funny.
The Sex Drive is literally a road trip, right?
Yeah,
it is
exactly
almost the exact same premise. It's but the one thing I will say is I was thinking about this, that whole teen sex comedy thing, that it was like real in vogue for about 10, 15 years, and they've almost died off now. I actually can't remember the last big one.
Yeah, but I think what killed it is probably a lot of those spoofs that they kept making. The ones where they like directly spoofed the film, and those were always so garbage that I think it burnt a lot of people.
Like
that.
Not another teen movie, date movie.
Yeah, exactly that.
I actually want to watch a couple of times.
No, don't waste your time. Too much good shit. Okay, what else you got?
That is it. Oh, should I do Thunder Force then, because you didn't bother watching it?
Yeah, go for it, man. I refused to watch this. I didn't watch the trailer. So, I didn't want to. And I'm thank God, because I'm hearing it's getting ripped apart online.
No. Eddie's own rules. If we watch a trailer, we should watch the film. So there you go, folks.
The trailer.
You did
That's
watch
the loophole.
Trailer. No, you did watch.
No,
listen,
I remember.
Don't give me that. No. Listen, I'll go and find. I'll go and find the episode. I'll cut that bit and I'll send it to you.
Do it.
Right. This is right, typical internet. Like, basically, is just ripping something for the sake of ripping something. It's not a bad film. It wasn't particularly as funny as a comedy should be, but I have seen it is polling very well with women like in their 40s and upwards. I'm actually really surprised. I've seen comments from women saying it's really nice to see representation of people in my age bracket.
That doesn't make it good. That just means that they're
no. It doesn't make it good for you. But there are actually people out there who seem to be enjoying it, from what I have seen.
Are they saying that they enjoyed it, or they dislike that the two lead actresses are middle-aged women of a particular size?
They are said they have enjoyed the film. And like I said, I actually found the film an okay Saturday night kind of film to watch. Jason Bateman was absolutely fantastic in it, but he always is in these films. But I have seen Godzilla was a far worse movie than this. A far, far worse movie than this. In fact, I would rather watch Thunder Force on repeat every day than have to sit through Godzilla and King Kong.
Wow. Put that to the test.
It's not that bad a film. It's like I said, for a comedy, it is a little light on laughs. I mean, it almost seems like they were going for a more serious film, and the comedy is an afterthought. But it's a totally average throwaway type film. Like, it's perfect for Netflix.
Guys, tweet at us. Mo, how can they tweet at us? I want to know what you guys thought of this if you gave it a go.
Talking Movies 3.
Okay. I want to hear your thoughts. Is Mo right? Or was I right to just be like,
listen, there is no right or wrong when it comes to watching a film, right? You can like it, you can dislike it.
Life's a competition. There's always right and wrong. Okay, so okay, keep going. And what do you rate it?
Well, I would give it I'd give it a low 3.
Low 3. Okay. I'm intrigued now. Just so I can come back and say you lied to me, or your taste is shit.
I don't know. My taste is shit. Like, you've seen all the comedies that I buy, but do you know what I mean? It's like just because like the internet doesn't like something doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. I mean, we'll talk about it when we get into the Nevers. But I have seen like a very polarizing opinion on that as well.
Wow. Okay. So, not a whole massive amount, but I decided to go for a classic because Mo's been betraying his garbage movie roots the last few months, watching good films, like highly critically acclaimed, and it's making me feel bad. So I decided, okay, like, how can I one up Mo? Let me go deep. Let me go to Japan. And what's his name? Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, Kurosawa.
Yeah.
Kurosawa.
I went for his most iconic film, maybe.
Seven Samurai.
Seven Samurai, a movie that probably I saw as a kid on TV, but never really stuck in my head. I never really got around to watching it properly as an adult.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's an interesting movie, man. It's a tour de
It's.
force.
Do you know what? I've never watched it. I've wanted to watch it, but I've never got around to it.
It's a Sunday afternoon movie. Get comfy.
Yeah.
You got nothing to do. And yeah, but it's a slow movie. It's a slow burn because it's like 2.5 hours, and most of that is basically these. What the premise is: little village, middle of nowhere in Japan, and they've been terrorized by these bandits. And they come every season to just take their rice. They don't have much. They barely even eat rice. They eat millet, which I don't even know what that is. I think it's made from corn or something. But yeah, they take all their possessions and they just can't take it no more. Just starving village. So they decide, okay, 4 of you just go to the nearest town. We need to recruit samurai. This is when they were like, samurais were just wandering around all over the place with their swords, and you could just hire them for various jobs.
It's from the 1950s, right?
1954.
Ish era. So does it have that whole like really slow, meandering pace style storytelling?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It lets it.
So
It lets
is
the
it
story just unfold like a flower in bloom.
is it a slog to watch, or are you like riveted like from start to end?
Well, it depends on because you watched Lawrence of Arabia, and I can't.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that it's any slower than large parts of Lawrence of Arabia.
But Lawrence Arabia is very visually beautiful to look at, right? So even when it's slow, it is so like just the beauty of it just draws you in.
I guess it depends on how you feel about black and white films, because even though for me, I was surprised that even though it's a black and white movie, how visually the cinematography of this was so visually pleasing. Like I could still appreciate the beauty of the valley of where this village was and how all the shots were framed. It was like, how do you still make me see the bloom of the flowers and make me feel like I want to roll around in the grass with a local village girl, which one of the samurais are doing, in black and white when I can't see the color of the grass or the flowers or anything, but it still looks gorgeous. It's strange. But yeah, these guys have to hire a particular amount of samurai, and that takes a while, and that's hard because no one gives a shit. They can't pay them money. They can only pay them in food and lodgings. But eventually, a little ragtag band of samurai come together, and that takes about 2 hours. And then once they get back to the village,
Yeah.
boom, the raid happens, and yeah, it's a fun film.
So did you find yourself engaged for the whole 2 hours?
There may have been a little playing
Yeah.
on the phone about midway, but I stuck with it. It wasn't painful like some films were, or something else we're going to review together a little later, which was painful to watch.
Really?
Mo.
Oh.
We'll get to that.
What, Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, Eddie. God, bloody, your
No,
taste.
no.
You're,
But remember, this is a classic movie that Spielberg says he's been inspired by. George Lucas says Star Wars was inspired by. We should really do see it with the Jedi. Basically.
Yeah, I do want to watch a lot more Kurosawa, because there's also that other film that people rave about. Was it Ran?
Ran, yeah. That's the one of his few color. And I was watching the trailer for that. Wow, that looks stunning. One of those ones where they wait around for like 2 days just to get a 2-second shot with the samurais behind the guy on the hill. Like crazy. Yeah, I might check that one out.
Nice. So what would you give this then?
Oh, man. Do I see it as being this all-time high bar classic that it's heralded as? Maybe not. But at the same time, it's still a very good film. So I'm going to say 4.
Ooh, so it is a very good film.
Good film. You appreciate the performances. Some are crazy, some are real subtle, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. And that's
interesting.
Samurai culture is interesting, man. To know that this was how life was not even that long ago in Japan.
Is this, if somebody wants to get into Kurosawa, is this the film to start with, or would you recommend elsewhere? I mean, I don't know how many others of these you've seen.
That's the problem. I don't remember much of his films. I was too young when I saw them. I used to have mom used to have this friend who would always bring VHSs back in the day when I was little to our house, just leave them there and then take them later. So I would just, as a little kid, just rustle through all these VHS and watch a lot of the time watching films I had no business watching at a young age. But I was a single child, single parent, had plenty of time on my hands when I wasn't outside causing terror. But yes, I watched that, and then I got into like a weird sort of British gangster movie mood. So I watched Legend movie I'd seen, but I kind of was in the mood to watch that again. Tom Hardy replays the Craze twins.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I don't think I've actually watched that.
It's a good film.
Sell me on it.
It condenses the story quite a bit, but what holds it all together is just Tom Hardy. So fucking good. So fucking good. Both parts. Especially, I forget which one was Reggie, the crazy one. The one who's literally certified but insane. Wicked performance. And Emily Browning's in it as well, which is, she does a very convincing East End accent, which surprised me for an Australian chick. Yeah, I like it. It's a good film. Not everyone loved it, but I think mostly it's positive.
I was just looking. It's got a 6.9. Some people do seem to be obsessed with the Cray brothers, as in like they see them as some sort of heroes rather than like the villains that they actually are.
They're not. They're not. There's nothing heroic about them, unless you view the fact that they were working class boys.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
They're anti-establishment type folks.
Yeah, but they shitty human beings, man. Like, what's this? We'll show you. And then after this, we always talk about, okay, I'll get around to watching it. I'll add it to my list. Don't worry. Well, Mo, I finally got to something that was on my list that you're always bugging me to watch.
Oh,
The Gentleman, another Guy Ritchie movie. Yes, I watched it, and I loved every minute of it.
It's good, isn't it?
It's a really good. I liken that film to the way it's written and the events that happen in that, like a chess game. It's constantly everyone's playing chess. All these. I'm thinking, how the fuck do you write this? Like, it's insane. It's fucking crazy.
It's what's it? So Hugh Grant, phenomenal, right? That is a performance of a lifetime. But then you've also got, what's his name? Who's the coach? Forget, it's Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell, yeah, he was really good as well. Really good. It's nice hearing him just talking his natural Irish accent, which he doesn't always do a lot. Yeah, everybody in this, man. Even the guy who's a shit actor and everything else, including probably what I saw from the trailers, the King Arthur movie that you watched. Yeah, Charlie Dunham. Yeah, even in this, good, very good.
Yeah, wow. The whole structure, the narrative, the storyline, and it all just comes together just fantastically.
Yeah, everything about it, loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
Yeah. Which that's the film that's really made me want to go back and watch like Lock, Stock, which I absolutely love. Snatch, which I've only watched once and didn't like, so I want to give it another go.
You'll love it.
Yeah, and then there's Rock and Roller, which I've never seen.
I like that. That's a fun film. It's not on the level of the first two, but it's a fun film. Fun, a little bit more action orientated gangster film. Stay away from Revolver. I think that's where it started to go downhill for Guy Ritchie.
Oh dear. Right. Okay.
Yeah, that one good. Nice. But yeah, loved it, man. If you haven't seen The Gentleman, give it a look. Even that Chinese dude, man. I forget what they called him, Dry Eyes or something. He's so cool.
Oh, I think I need to watch that again now. It's been over a year since I've seen it.
And what are those boxing kids called? They used the toddlers or something. They were everywhere with a GoPro, causing major crime that will get them locked up for life. And they're just GoProing it everywhere and then uploading it onto the internet on their music videos.
Well, that's like kids now, right? If you there's like on Reddit, there's a whole subreddit called like fight porn. And it is literally like you'll see like kids like in school just filming fights,
even on Instagram you'll just see it. People just committing crimes right there live and just broadcasting it. Like, huh? What's wrong with you? It's just so dumb.
A whole generation has been failed.
I see people flashing guns with massive drugs, say that they've just robbed such and such, and you think everyone can see this, including the police. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's just stupid. But yeah. Good film, love it. Has a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
And spinning off from my Seven Samurai, not really something really to chat about, but I actually went back and started continuing to watch Samurai Champloo, which I still don't understand the fuss. Like, it's a beautiful anime. It looks great. The style of it, the music, all of that, but there's no story.
Samurai what?
Samurai Champloo. I can never fucking pronounce it. Look at Samurai Champloo. It's an iconic anime that everyone loves. Everyone loves it. Again, you guys want to tweet us, man? Just convince me why. What's so cool about it? It looks good. It's animated great. Characters are cool, but There's no story.
I'm
Shampoo,
assuming
shampoo.
is it Champlu or either
Yeah.
that or it's Champlu
Yeah. Look at IMDb,
or
8.5.
Champlu.
Everywhere else, 8 point something,
Ooh.
8 point something. Everyone loves it. It's like this beloved show, but nothing happens. They just this three individuals, two samurais that swear that they want to fight each other. They tell the other one, don't die because I want to be the one that kills you. So they kind of have this weird friendship where they're traveling around. But the only thing that stops them from fighting is this girl who's hanging with them. And they just kind of travel around town to town, just doing little episodic things each episode. But
So just reading the first line of someone's review. This is from the director. Longer wait project from Cowboy Bebop director, right? So I remember watching a couple of episodes of Cowboy Bebop, and what you've just described
same thing
is exactly it. I was like, I can't understand why people think this is like one of the best animes ever made.
Same thing. It's stylistic. That's what he's good at. He creates an atmosphere and brings together interesting characters. But as a story, nothing happens. They just bounce from one incident to the next, and it's like, wow.
So are you saying that this guy is like the Zack Snyder of like the anime world?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Quote me on that. yeah, it's a weird one.
So you don't recommend me checking this one out, then?
I think you should have an opinion on it because it is such. It is. If you ever get into a random conversation with someone about anime, chances are this is going to pop up. So it's good to have an opinion on it, one way or another. But
won't a real anime fan goes, you don't watch anime on Netflix?
It's probably, but it's not a Netflix show. That's what I'm saying. It predates all of that by 2005. So early 2000s.
Oh really? Oh, okay, fine. It's that old then, is it?
Yeah. But you don't look it. Like I'm saying, it's beautifully made, beautifully. There's this weird little hip hop aesthetic to it, to the side, but old school hip hop, like cool 90s shit. But it's just go somewhere, please. It's weird. Yeah. So that's what I've been watching.
You've been watching quite a bit this week for a change. Normally, I haven't watched anything.
Yeah.
Did your like free subscription to like Pornhub run out or something?
So should we get to
right? Well, so
reviews?
there's a couple of shows this week. So we've got our usual The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Invincible.
We'll get to the garbage first.
I'm
going to say this now. I hate CW Network, and I hate Greg Berlanti.
So can we talk about that for a minute?
For anyone who's in the States, who maybe on the West Coast, like if you happen to know where CW's buildings are or where Greg Berlanti may have a personal office, I don't know whether we could go to prison for this, but I don't care.
Be careful what you say here, Ken. Be careful.
Feel free to set fire to that building and just let it burn. Let it be. Let it return to the earth and just be where it belongs. Just ash.
Eddie does not mean that at all. He might want you to throw like a bag of shit through the window or something.
Do that first.
Not set the building on fire.
Or obviously wait till it's empty.
He is joking.
Obviously wait till no one's in there.
No, not even
Greg
there.
Berlanti. If he's in there, go ahead.
Because that is arson. Is there nobody in the whole of the United States that is capable of making a show for CW that isn't called Greg Berlanti? Like, I was watching that show, and as soon as his name appeared in the credits, I honestly was just like, really?
Yeah.
But I think you and I are going to have very different opinions.
Oh my God, I cannot believe you're going to say you enjoyed this. This was trash.
I would say using the word enjoy might be going a little bit far, but I see potential in this show.
It never gets better, Mo. Have you not learned the CW lesson?
No!
It never improves from the pilot.
No.
It only gets worse.
It's going to draw me in for 7 seasons until I realize that.
When we first, announced that they were working on a Kung Fu reboot, all for it. Cool concept. If they actually make it more authentic by actually having someone Chinese in the lead role this time instead of David Carradine like they did, pretending to be Chinese like he did back in the day.
So check, they've done that.
They did want to do a female protagonist. Cool little twist. I had no opposition to that. Thought we added a nice little twist to the story. But as soon as we heard that it was going to be CW, my anticipation was just like, this is going to be trash. And lo and behold, it's exactly that. It is just by the numbers. it does everything you expect it. The person who's been away for a long time coming back, them trying to rekindle something with their ex who now is in a relationship with somebody else. So you're gonna have that love triangle down the road.
Lots of people have, that's not what she's doing. She's gonna fall in love with the other guy. See, people
obviously,
keep thinking that.
Yeah. But there'll be at some point. No, have you not seen Twilight? Oh yeah, you haven't. Love triangles.
I haven't seen Twilight.
Love triangles make the world go around when it comes to, or a teenage world go around. So at some point she's gonna be like, I love him, but also affectionate to him. We have a past, but no, I love this. Oh, fucking shit.
See,
Kung Fu.
I did not feel that bad about it. I actually thought like, hey, this is a pilot. It potentially could get better.
Do you know what this made me want to do? I wanted to go back or just download or find it streaming somewhere. The old martial law TV show, Sammo Hung show. Because that did it way better than this.
Yeah, well, I do want to watch that. I think apparently, I was looking at the DVDs for that, but apparently people are saying the quality of the DVD is so bad that it even has, and I need to verify this, someone was saying it actually has, like how in the old days, when you watched a TV show, they would have the station logo or something. Yeah. They go like whatever print they've used even has like the logo of like some station. So they've chosen like some really shitty source to put on DVD.
Oh dear.
But what this actually has made me do, I actually gonna check out the first episode of the David Carradine show, because you can buy the first show for like 10p on Amazon.
Oh, what, this first episode?
Well, yeah, there's a price to buy the whole season, but if you want to buy just the first episode, it's like 10 pence.
Yeah, because it sucks. It wasn't good. It was just a novelty. Remember, this is in a time when Kung Fu and martial arts was still mysterious, even the Chinese culture. So it wasn't. It's
very much, because I looked at a trailer or whatever. It's very much a Western. It literally is like a guy going from town to town. Like the gun for hire, the slinger, solving problems type thing.
And using
but I do want to check it out.
Buddhist philosophy as well as martial arts. Keep in mind, wasn't a martial artist. When he did the show, he had no martial arts. This is Bruce Lee's idea. Don't forget, this is Bruce Lee came up with this, and then they fucking ripped him off and gave it to this dude. Disgraceful.
I was watching on YouTube. I just typed in like Kung Fu movie documentary, and something that was on the BBC years ago, like years ago, popped up. And I was like, oh, and it had that usual, like who was famous at the time doing like comments and that kind of stuff. The sort of stuff that they do, like I love the 80s, I love the 90s type show. But they actually had David Carradine on it, and he goes like after Kung Fu was over, he goes, no, whenever he was in public and he was at a bar or something like that, people would always order him a grasshopper and send it over to him. And he goes, and I hated those green hoppers. There is no more disgusting a drink than a grasshopper or whatever it's called.
Oh, what was that? Sounds like something that we've made out of like wheatgrass or something, just blended up.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. So, are you going to continue with this more?
I am definitely going to check out a few more episodes. It's completely up to you if you want to or not. But I definitely will be checking out.
I'm going to commit to it for 2 more episodes. I'm giving it 2 more chances.
2 more chances to disappoint you.
Yeah. Then you've got the classic, your teacher, your Sifu, who you love, gets killed by what I presume is a former student. And then the sword, this magical sword. We got magic in this shit. And it turns out this magical sword isn't just its own dangerous magical swords of its own. There's like 8 weapons altogether. That if you bring all these weapons together, then you have this all ultimate power to do God knows what. Fuck.
And all of those, the remaining 7 pieces are all going to be scattered across the US, aren't they? Or probably in New York.
Or wherever in New York. I think they're like San Francisco or Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, so wherever they are.
Yeah, they're all going to be in this one location. It's a fucking stupid show. It sucks. Yeah. 2 more. Just because I know you're going to watch it.
Well, you might as well if you're going to watch 2, you might as well watch the remaining 20, right?
Ooh, are you still watching
for the season?
Young Rock?
Oh yeah, I have. Yeah, in fact, I watched like 2 episodes this week.
And they still fun?
Oh yeah, it's still fun. They did an episode the other day where The Rock spent the day with Andre, right? He wanted to go and see E.T., but no one would take him, and him and Andre just had like a day out. But I love it. I love the episode because in it they have they have all the wrestlers like in a battle royale. So you have like the Macho Man, you have like the Wild Samoans. It's really cool. And what's really nice is, like the Rock's catchphrases, like jabroni, it doesn't matter. So like they show you like examples of like where he got these. So his mom goes to him, "What were you thinking when you stole these clothes?" And Rock's about to give an answer. He goes, "It doesn't matter what you were thinking."
Yeah, like that really was the story. Oh, okay. So the next show, Joss Whedon's The Nevers.
Did you right at the end of the show, when the end credits come up, it's like directed by Joss Whedon, written by Joss Whedon, executive producer Joss Whedon, created by Joss Whedon.
Dude, the ego stroking on that. Instead of just having it all in one thing, they just kept flicking through the credits. Like, wow, you really love this guy. Did you watch? Well, we'll get to it anyway. I really like this. I really enjoyed this.
I'm surprised if you're going to say that. I actually really liked it as well. I thought you were going to come back. I'm never watching this again. But
why? It's good. It looks good. The production values are there. Unlike the Netflix thing, it doesn't have this ludicrous premise or world, which is unbelievable. Even though it has a fantasy element in it, that they're basically like these X-Men, because of some alien craft.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Did that alien craft like crash, and then people just forgot about it?
Yeah, everyone just seems to just wake up and be like, "No."
Yeah, and then just carried on. Yeah. I'm glad you reminded me of that, because I wanted to ask that, because it kind of looked like it disintegrated.
Yeah.
And then everyone just carried on with their life.
Yeah, and it just, before it did though, just sprayed everyone with whatever this was, that gate that seems to have given everybody
jizz.
their
space jizz.
It's given everybody all their abilities.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the world itself, like this, I don't know, Victorian London, feels genuine. It feels like, lived in world. In the writing was good. Say what you like about Joss, when he's in the zone and he gives a shit.
So I did think it was a little bit just disjointed, not enough to make it uninteresting or unenjoyable. But I think the thing I always miss whenever Joss Whedon has a new show, I always expect like the new character, or not expect, I want the characters to talk like Buffy and Angel.
Why?
Do you know what I mean? Because that's like the thing that I remember enjoying about those shows, like the quirky this of the way they talk and stuff.
That wouldn't work in Victorian London, though.
I know, but like that's what I'm always expecting. And when I get something else, there's always that little bit. Like, remember Dollhouse? Dollhouse was so different. So I'm kind of hoping that doesn't dampen my my enjoyment of the remaining episodes. But like I said, but it was good. I did enjoy it.
I kind of get some of that quirkiness from how, when they're in the school and how some of those students were interacting with each other, they definitely had some of that quirkiness, like the Asian girl and that guy who never talks, but they're sitting in the little car and they're saying, "We should get married in this," like weird little things like that.
Yeah, or the girl that goes like, who's just sitting there complaining about stuff, and then she stands up and she's like
massive, like no one reacted to her being massive when she was sitting down. Like, that's fucking crazy. No, I really enjoyed it. I liked it. And I like the lead actress as well, that the main kick-ass one that can flash into the future.
So you're talking about Laura Donnelly, I believe.
Yeah, she has a sternness but cool, and I like the way they present it. They don't do it in this patronizing way where she beats up everybody and is invincible. Like, she's fallible. She can get her ass kicked at the same time as being a skilled fighter. It doesn't make it too ludicrous that she's beating up all these people. Like,
I also like the fact that they went with a Jackie Chan style stunt with her. Like when she jumps down like the stairs and like the dress. So that's something that you'd get with Jackie Chan, right?
yeah, totally. I did like that. Yeah, it's fucking cool. I was really bummed. I wanted more.
So I did see someone commented that said, when the car jumps out of the carriage, it just seemed too Extraordinary League of Gentlemen. And I've never actually seen that movie because I've heard it's really bad.
It is. And it would not be out of place in that film. But League of Gentlemen didn't create or invent steampunk, which that basically is. It's steampunk, that sort of weird technological in Victorian mishmash.
On the upside, this has debuted as HBO Max. So not HBO, but HBO Max's highest ever original show.
Cool.
So things could potentially look gross. So the name of Joss Whedon hasn't sullied the show.
Yeah. I think average people don't aren't even aware of half of the shit that goes on. Because yeah, you have to really go out your way to go to news biz sites to read about all this shit. People day to day, they don't know about none of this Joss Whedon shit.
I do wonder if people have tuned in because they see from the trailers that it's a period piece. Because people love period pieces, right?
You can never judge ratings by the first week. Judge them by the second, because that however hard the drop off is, that's where you know where you be. Like even freaking Kung Fu, apparently that's their highest ratings of
for the last 3 years or something.
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years, like the highest premiere. Yeah. Just goes to show you there is an audience. Weekday. There is an untapped audience.
No, it's just the pro. Next week, I guarantee it will be half as much, if not less.
I don't know if about half.
Yeah. I'm Kung Fu I'm talking about, not Nevers.
Yeah.
I'm into this. I want to know where it goes. I want to know what's the deal with this singing chick, what the motives are of a lot of the characters, and it's just, I really like it. I like the cast. I like where this is going. Give me more.
I noticed that Jane Espenson is one of the executive producers, and she's been with Whedon since like the Buffy days. So obviously she's either one who puts up with his bullshit, or he's never picked on her.
Yeah, I think he only does it to actors. He sees them as lesser.
Oh no, he's done it to writers as well, hasn't he?
Oh, has he?
Like, do you remember there was a thing that came out a few weeks ago? Like, you could make a writer like ball up and cry.
Oh dear. Oh god. What a lovely man that is. And he still hasn't said shit. Still, it's just hiding. Hasn't said a damn thing.
I was actually in, I can't remember what subreddit it was today, but there were actually people defending him, like trying to say like, well, actually all the accusations that are being made against him aren't as bad as like, when you put it into context, they go, and look how he's keeping silent. He's not like doing a tit for tat.
Wow.
So there are genuinely people who think that it's been blown out of proportion.
You always find people that just have to be the contrarians, man. They have to just for the fucking sake of it. Yeah, nah. But regardless of that, I'm judging the show on its own basis, and I like it. What's going to be interesting though is that once it gets to the halfway point where he drops out, will there still be the consistency? Did he continue to write were those scripts already completed, or were other people brought in? Like, I'm curious to see whether things dip. So I guess we'll find out halfway through.
We will indeed.
Definitely sticking with it. Invincible.
Right. Invincible, man.
Dude, this was an episode and a half, man. I think this was the best one.
It was a very good episode. I like his personal life just as much as I like the main arc as well, right? Because like in some shows, the personal life stuff can just get like boring, but the stuff between him and Amber actually it's really well done.
And he's going to end up with a redhead chick in it. It's kind of obvious.
It makes sense, right? Because she already knows his secret. She has the same problems.
It's just and she ain't gonna get mad at him for not being there to meet her mum or feed the homeless and all of that.
Yeah,
dude. But that rock guy, I like how they got deeper with that character. The guy that covers himself in cement somehow. Like, I did not see that bait and switch coming. Did love that.
No, neither did I at all. But it does come as a surprise. But you are left breathless because of like that epic fight that just happened before it.
Yeah, all of it. But yeah, that one was crazy too. But even the whole episode opened up with the cement guy just beating the shit out of these henchmen in this warehouse.
Yeah,
brutally, like just throwing things, just exploding people's. Like, oh.
Or when they shoot at him, the bullet bounces back.
No, it's fucking crazy. And you just think, okay, now I see why this wasn't live action. This would have just been crazy. It's that big fight at the end. That whatever the young whatever the team was that they called, brutalized, man.
So the thing with that is this guy Invincible, he's supposed to be like a Superman equivalent, right?
To a degree.
But then he gets beaten up by somebody called, I think was it like Battle Beast, who obviously is very strong.
Yeah, you don't know where he's from. He could be another alien. Thanos has done. Look, Doomsday did the same thing to Superman, beat him into a bloody pulp, and he ended up dying.
So it doesn't look that hard or scary.
Yeah, I'm talking about the comic book version, not the BVS version.
But I like the way that even though when the whole team, even though they were bloodied and they were beaten, they have that heroic sort of like comeback. The music
comeback,
comes up,
yeah.
and but unlike other shows or films, they still get beaten down.
I know. I was actually impressed with Manzukis, man. He actually stepped up a bit, but yeah, the black guy, the older one, is he dead? He's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, because he's got no powers. They make a special point of saying that earlier in the episode.
Yeah, and he even just drops his armor at one point to try and fight the guy hand to hand. That was not going to end up well. And I guess they're going to bring back the girl who turns into the beast because that robot was cloned. That's a mysterious little story going on there.
Yeah.
He's got a weird little obsession with her.
But there are some jokes with her that get a bit close to the knuckle, right?
Yeah.
She goes like she is 25.
Yeah.
I think in the last episode they were talking about like her having sex and stuff, and I was just like, oh, I don't want to know.
So crazy. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. We still haven't gotten any from the last week. The alien, the parasite alien, that's completely been. So that will come back at some point. Probably not even this season. Maybe a little something this season, but yeah. We don't know what the other one that's cloning himself, what he's up to. There's so many different little threads.
Yeah. And the mum as well, right? She's like found the costume.
Yep. Which we know the demon has to still be around because she was breathing the
cold air.
Yeah, so he must be hiding somewhere. Like, there's all these different, all these balls in the air for this show. It's impressive.
I do wonder if there's going to be some sort of fake out. You know, like how Omni-Man killed like the Guardians or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's some sort of like fake out at the end where we find out the Guardians were the ones that were rogue and it was him like destroying them because he had found out or something.
No. I don't know what it is that his deal is, but I've been vaguely aware enough of the comic book from back in the day. I don't know what it is, but remembering covers that the dad there's other stuff that the dad does that he's definitely not a good dude.
Oh, right. Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So they're not going to fake us out in the last episode and say, it's all a joke, really. I'm a good guy.
Not unless they're going to change the direction of the show, which I doubt it. I'm still curious how they're going to do this in live action without repeating themselves from what they've done with the show, but we'll see.
Again, I'm seeing very little like internet engagement over this show.
It's weird, isn't it? It's so strange. It's criminal. Unless you actually go out your way to search for it specifically. Yeah, it's not coming up. So that worries me because, if people ain't watching it, then Amazon would be like, man, what's the point? Goodbye.
Yeah.
Drop it.
Well, unless because it's an animation, I guess it's cheaper than producing a live action show, right? So that might save it.
Maybe, but plenty of anime have been dropped for not having enough audiences.
Yeah, anime is a little bit different because it's a very heated and competitive like market.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
Time will tell, but great, loved it. One of the strongest episodes. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Shit gets real.
And the Winter Soldier.
The world is watching. Got to see American Patriots, true colors. If you're a bad man, ultimate power just makes you even worse.
And he has absolutely no control whatsoever. In fact, he comes across as quite the dick.
He's that. And he's just psychologically just out to lunch. But then again, it's weird. I like how they don't make it so black and white though. Like there's gray areas there because you can't blame him to a degree getting pissed because he literally watched his best friend, who he was always cool with, wasn't a dick to his boy, watched him just get splattered against the wall.
Yeah, but before that, he was being a dick, right? So essentially, like, they had things under control. They were trying to talk to this girl. And he just couldn't stand it that he wasn't in control. He wasn't in limelight. Yeah.
That
basically, he forced that situation, essentially.
True. That just didn't take him serious. I like the humbling he got when the Wakandan personal guard, whatever the fuck, when they kicked his ass. Yeah. He was like, they weren't even super soldiers. He got his ass kicked. Yeah, that was
and
cool.
Bucky got his arm taken off.
I know, a secret with backdoor thing to just disconnect it.
Yeah, was it like some Shaolin monk moves as well, right?
His arm's dropped. I'd be so pissed. I'd put duct tape on it just in case every time now. Just in case.
Super glue that.
Fuck that. Yeah, fuck that. I ain't dropping that again.
And then Zemo, when all that stuff's kicking off, Zemo's just standing there, like sipping on his scotch or whatever he's got, like just watching it, waiting for his moment.
I love Zemo. He's actually become quickly one of my favorite characters, man, because he's just so chill. He's a likable bad guy. obviously he's probably going to do something at some point in the next 2 episodes to reaffirm himself as being the piece of shit villain. But so far, he's too likable, man.
So technically, he does seem to be on the same side as Bucky and Falcon, right? Because essentially, he's very much of the opinion that it can't be super soldiers. Because I was expecting him to pick up those vials and probably take them on the black market and sell them.
Oh, I wasn't expecting him to sell them because he's shown enough to show that he just doesn't want there to be that, the people that are above. But I was thinking that possibly he'd do it, take one for himself so he can do his job better. But no, even then, he had the discipline to be like, fuck this. This cannot exist. So that shows he has integrity as well. So how can you not like the guy? He's just a little brutal with the way he does things.
Well, I mean, he did kill like the Wakandan leader, right? On purpose, not an accident. Like
True.
Premeditated.
True.
So you can kind of understand why they want him.
Do you think he's actually going to stay on the run? He's not going to get caught with it in this show, and that possibly the spin-off from the Wakandan show, which they've been talking about doing, could have him in it?
Potentially, possibly, right? Because we were saying we don't know what that show could be about.
It's a
so
shame
you could have like a spin-off of a spin-off.
It's a shame they killed off Andy Serkis, ain't it? Because he would have been great to bring back.
I think comic book movies have shown no one is dead forever.
It's kind of. I think it was a point blank bullet in the head. There weren't no grey area there, but you never know. Maybe it's a flashback thing. What else? Anything else in this that stuck out to you want to talk about?
No, but we got what, like 2 episodes left now?
Yeah.
They need to start wrapping this stuff up.
Yeah, a lot of balls spinning in the air, a lot of plates.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are they gonna, what they call them, the flag smashers, whatever the fuck? Yeah, how are they gonna...
The flag smashers have got like a bit of a weird agenda, right? It seems like they want no borders. They want resources reallocated. I can't quite get it right. Were they saying like it was better when people were gone because there were more resources? Now that everybody's back, there isn't enough for everyone.
Yeah. They're the people that preferred the world in those 5 years. But how can you be mad at people like? You could be like, look, things were easier, but they're back now. What you expected to achieve? Just wanting them to just what?
I can't imagine things were easier, because imagine there's like 7 billion people on this planet. If half of those people disappeared, there'd be a massive imbalance.
Yes, but then given the 2 years, maybe 3 to adjust, for people to retrain, or people to train to fill in some of those gaps in resources, in like infrastructure, just generally day to day, things must be easier.
It would take years. Look at how we're in a pandemic at the moment, and we've got like a silicon shortage, and everyone's still here.
Yeah, but that's because there's demand, because there's too many people demanding all this shit.
No, but the stuff is not being made is the other problem as well, right?
Both, but you have the population of the world, everything's fine. Everyone can get a laptop.
Well, no, because even if you halve the population of the world, you still have the same demand, and the little
demand will be halved.
No, it'll be halved, but you'll have half the people making it, right?
That is true.
So it'll be the exact same.
But is the problem with all of that the people making it or the materials to produce it? I always heard that it was the materials to produce it that was causing that side of the sword. It's not the people physically doing it.
But it's a silicon shortage, right? But I'm assuming that the people who make the silicon are having the same problem. It's not like it's not like there is a shortage of the material to make the silicon. Because they go, that's going to exist for like another 24 months. In 24 months, it's not like they're going to find a new deposit for this. I think it literally is the fact that
but factories shut down. A bunch of factories shut down.
Yes. I think that is the problem, right? And no one is making the stuff that they need.
Who knows? I'd like to experience a blip world.
A blip world. I think one of the other things that's causing it is obviously there's been a huge demand for laptops. Because imagine when companies started working from home, they were ordering like laptops in the thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, exactly. Enjoyed it. Cool show, and it's getting way more tense now. And I think I'm enjoying this more than Wonder.
No, not even
Yeah.
close.
I enjoyed the
Not even
Wonder's
close.
quirkiness. I enjoyed the fact that it was kind of a little unpredictable, but this feels more tense to me.
This just feels too actiony to me. It's
It's not wrong with
there
that.
is like well, it is after having seen like this wonderful, quirky, different type of show. I just feel like I'm watching a really extended movie. Like if you once this whole thing is done, you're like thinking they could edit this down into a 2.5 hour movie.
Oh, yeah, but yeah, I'm really into it, man.
Yeah.
So much fun with it. All right, so Mo, you want to do the trailers?
Let's get to the trailers very quickly. Right. Mainstream. This look weird as fuck.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Like, performances look good. It's kind of based
Yeah.
on the whole social media world of the Logan Pauls and his equally shitty brother, and who actually pops up in this in one scene, and that sort of type people that create bullshit content that doesn't really mean
Yeah.
matter to me.
But those they make that bullshit type of content, but they have lots of teenagers following them, wanting to be them, wanting to have that lifestyle.
which
type
is
thing.
which is what
Yeah.
the real world. But
Yeah.
these people are a lot more unhinged. It's got what's his name again?
So Andrew
Andrew
Garfield, Maya Hayek, who's Hawk, sorry, who's Uma Thurman's daughter.
Yep, and Ethan Hawke's. Yeah, but performances look good, but I can't stand those personalities as it is. So watching a film filled with those, I don't know if I can deal with that.
I think it would be an interesting watch. It could be a very frustrating watch. I agree with you. I'm not really into that whole YouTuber, Instagrammer. Like you should go out and suffer for your money. You're not like make millions just from your living room.
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you suffer like the rest of us?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe see how people feel about it.
Next one, I'll put this on here because I thought you'd probably enjoy this one.
Yeah,
You do like your anime, so this is it's
Yusuke.
pronounced really. Is it Yusuke?
Yeah, Yusuke. The story of the sole one and only black samurai, which we spoke about. I think the first time I even heard about this is when we were talking about Chadwick Boseman was going to make a movie, a live action movie about this. It was going to be his next film.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, where he was, a guy who was brought to Japan by Portuguese missionaries, I believe. And because Chadwick wouldn't have been perfect for the role, would not have been, because the character, part of the mystique of what drove Japan crazy was that this guy was fucking huge, which probably made he was only like 6 foot. But yeah, apparently he was massive, and the emperor was or the shogun or whatever of the particular region got him to like fight his samurai, and he was hand to hand, no, not with swords, and he beat the shit out of everybody because he was just so damn big. And yeah, and the guy decided, live with me, I'll give you land, I'll give you slaves, or yeah, they're basically slaves, and you'll train as a samurai. And he did. He just stuck around, and he became, a samurai to the emperor. And it's the bizarre thing that has happened in real life, and now they've made an anime about it. It's weird because where was all this years ago? I've never heard of this character, and then suddenly I'm seeing documentaries all over the place about him.
Well, it's probably like because I'd imagine a project like this probably drives other things around it. Like, oh, Netflix are making something like this. Let's make a documentary to capitalize on it.
Oh, I think this documentaries go back like a year or two, man. Yeah. I think it may have been the Chadwick stuff, but anyway, this adds a bit more fantasy to it, so obviously it won't be historically accurate, but it could be interesting. I'll give it a...
Yeah, the animation certainly looks quite nice in the trailer.
It does. It's got a little Afro Samurai vibe to it. Another one, Afro Samurai, was also inspired by that character, even though the story's nothing like it, but yeah. So yeah, it could be cool.
Right.
Could be cool.
So next up on the list, so this could potentially be the big hit for Netflix this year. Opinion seems very divided, but Jupiter's Legacy.
It don't look good to me. It looks CW, high budget, like Stargirl level, but still, it looks CW. The costumes look bad. It looks just badly shot, or just not badly shot, but just averagely shot. It just doesn't look premium.
Yeah, I don't know about that, because the Umbrella Academy trailer, the original one, didn't look particularly great as well, from what I remember.
It didn't. And that could have been better, but this looks on that level, to be honest. I'll watch it, but I'm not impressed by it.
the scope of what potentially is a story is very interesting. I'm not entirely sure that it looks cheap. There is a weird look to it, though. I'll agree with you there. You know, and I think again, it's that digital look that this show seems to have.
Which no show should consciously have at this point. Like everything is shot digitally now. I'm sure the Nevers is shot digitally, but that still looks cool. That still looks real good. But this looks way better. I think that looks way better.
Yeah. But I think it's like how much grain do you like add to it to make it look like film?
Is it really great? You're the guy that watches everything in 4K? Was the Nevers grainy?
No.
The Witcher grainy?
No, but you can add a little bit of grain to make it look like film, right? Or I say that I actually don't know what they do digitally to give it that filmic look.
Yes.
Is there like a digital equivalent of grain?
It's not literal grain. It's just kind of
grains of rice.
Yeah, that's it. They stick it to the film.
Sprinkle it on the file. I am looking forward to this one, actually.
I'll give it a look, but not impressed by what I've seen so far.
You know, you'll start watching it on Friday night. You'll watch the whole thing by Saturday morning, and
probably will.
When we do it, you'll be like, "I've watched it twice."
Probably will.
All right. Those Who Wish Me Dead, starring Angelina Jolie, going back to her action heroine roots.
What happened to Angelina Jolie, man? There was a time where she was like, dude, what's that guy's name? Daniel Day-Lewis. She was like the female equivalent to Daniel Lewis in that she would completely transform herself. She would live a character. Like, did you ever really watch Angelina's early roles?
The only films I really remember watching her was the Tomb Raider.
Oh, that ain't early. You go back to watch Gia. You go back to watch Girl Interrupted. The stuff that she won her Golden Globes for. She was an amazing actress. Like to the point of self-destruction. Like even she admitted, like she developed a drug addict because of I think Gia, and all of these things. But Angelina Jolie doing a film. Remember Oscar winner, who was won one for a reason. Was because you know that she was gonna really become it. But then I gotta say, this could be controversial to say this, but I think becoming a mother changed her focus. I think she knew that she couldn't truly embody a character anymore when you have to go home and look after, you know, your family and your kids. And she's kind of become an average actress. Like what's the last good film or good performance from Angelina Jolie that you remember?
Well, like I said, I think I've only really seen her in the Tomb Raider films.
And even just the chatter, though, just from anything you hear, like, you don't hear it. And she just kind of just turns up in films now, and it's like, you know,
Yeah, but so are you saying this trailer looked bad? Because I thought it actually didn't look that bad.
Overall, the film looks great, but I see Angelina Jolie, and I just don't see any real character there. I just see her just going through lines. It's like... It's no disrespect to mothers or anything, but I think being a mother has made her an average actress, taking away the Oscar level that she used to be at.
No, because she's a mother, she's got like that feeling in there to look after this kid in the film, right? She knows, like, she can put herself in it. Like, if this is me in real life, someone's trying to hunt me down and my kid.
Maybe that would be the thing that draws me in, but that got to happen like 20 minutes in. Like, she just goes to A to B to C, and it's just like nothing special anymore. It's sad because I really loved Angelina Jolie back in the day. Films were awesome. But yeah, this could be cool.
Cool. Next up, The Woman in the Window, right? So this actually, from what I understand, has been like, it's been shelved for a couple of years and it's been reshot and now it's finally coming out. Yeah.
We've reviewed this before, Mo.
No, but this is the new trailer.
It's almost identical to the old one. It's
probably is, but it's like
it was going to be a cinema release from Fox over a year ago, but then obviously COVID's happened and so Netflix acquired it. And,
but apparently they've been trying to re-edit and change it because apparently the original cut they had didn't score very well.
Okay. Amy Adams, great actress. It looks good.
It does, but I'm kind of worried now from what I'm hearing.
Really? Yeah, I guess they have to go crazy like that. But then again, what's it? What's the Brad Pitt zombie movie?
Oh yes, I know the one you talk about.
Yeah,
The speedy zombies.
Yeah, that had the same problem. It was butchered to hell.
Well,
Everyone hated it.
Was it some World War Z or something?
Yes, World War Z.
Yeah, is that
Same problems. It was butchered to hell, re-edited, reshot a bunch of it, and in the end, it became a pretty damn fun movie when it came out. I was like, okay, that was worth it.
all right? It was all right.
I think that may be one you need to add to your rewatch. Well, so I think you may like it a bit more now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll check it.
I mean, it seems to have a very intriguing premise, right? I do like the fact that someone somewhere is messing with this woman in such a way, or are they?
Or she's crazy, yeah. Or
Yes,
bit of both,
yes.
I'm guessing.
Yeah, and she does seem to play crazy very, very well.
Yeah.
And very lastly, I just added this one here for fun: the Unthinkable, a foreign film. It doesn't really tell you much in the trailer.
It looks like a alien invasion of some kind.
Yeah, it does, but they never explicitly state that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that when they talk about it being, we never thought this would happen, never thought this would be. I think it's just because, I guess culturally, when you think of alien invasion and you think of like Hollywood, it's always like a New York or Washington that always gets attacked. For it to be in Stockholm, Sweden, or I think that's where it is, or somewhere in Sweden.
Yeah.
That, I think that's the unthinkable thing. It's like, why would aliens invade our little European town?
That's it. That's the bait and switch. I was wondering if it was like a government attack or something, right? Because we thought it was unthinkable that this would ever happen.
Yeah,
So because they never explicitly state it,
but
you kind
I
of think,
think
is it aliens?
I think there's the thing where you see birds just dropping from the sky. That's one thing to say that government aren't really going to do that. And there's the one where the car's driving towards the camera, and behind them you see trees just flying up in the air, being uprooted. And so there's definitely something a bit more going on there to create that to happen. So, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
Is there a date on this? Is this
I don't think there was actually. Let's have a look. Unthinkable. You know what? So I wonder if this has been shelved for a while because it's got a stamp of 2018.
Oh shit.
So I wonder if it's just been sitting on like a cutting room floor waiting to come out. I shall find out, and what I'll do is I'll post it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Should we get into the news?
Do it.
Right. So, Indiana Jones, right? Everyone's excited for that. Everyone in the whole world wants to see geriatric Indiana Jones come back. But I have some maybe good news, some bad news for you now. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, aka Fleabag, has joined the cast of Indy 5.
It's gonna be so strange. What is she gonna do? Is she gonna be the quirky side of herself, or is she gonna be playing it straight? Like,
is she gonna be the love interest? With only about an 80-year difference between the two.
Do that. He can't do that. He's ain't the 80s no more, or the 90s. You can't get away with that shit no more.
I mean, I love Phoebe Waller-Bridge, right? She's so talented. They can put her in absolutely anything.
I've gotta watch Killing Eve, man. I have to watch that.
Yes. People keep raving about how good that. Yeah, I do need to watch it. And it's accessible as well because I'm bloody iPlayer. It's not so much the fact that she's in it that's still dampening things. It's the fact that they've got a geriatric. I'm sorry, Mr. Ford, you are very old to be playing a archaeologist who, uses a whip and a hat and goes around fighting Nazis and finding ancient treasure.
You can't fight Nazis because they've already gotten past that. I think the last film, Crystal Skull, that was like the 60s, late 50s, early 60s.
They can go to like some like undiscovered city in South America
where Nazis are hiding out.
Yeah, exactly. They're all pretending to be like South Americans, but they're really Nazis.
Jeez. Tell me that they're going to try and just push the digital special effects envelope and just de-age him and make him.
There's no point in doing that
again.
Because they can make that, right? But he will still look like an old man when he tries to jump and run. And
well, that's where body doubles come in, isn't it? You just kind of little trickery there.
So he will be in. The only thing he'll be in that film is when he's like sitting or walking, and that is it.
And just delivering dialogue. That's it.
Might as well just make him a CGI character.
Yeah, basically, will be. Well, give me that. I want to see active mid-30s Indy. That's the Indy I want.
So, would you be happy with watching an Indiana Jones movie where Indy is completely CGI'd,
de-aged,
or maybe like there is a person there? It's not necessarily Harrison Ford, and the face of Harrison Ford is like superimposed, digitally created.
It's getting better. It is getting better every year.
So we could have Harrison Ford playing Indiana Jones like for the rest of our lifetimes.
Forever. Exactly.
Long after he's dead, we could be watching
Yeah.
Harrison Ford.
Damn, what happened to that project we were talking about James Dean coming back? That war movie.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. That's gonna be bad. Either I don't know what to say. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, but it's also got a release date of like next year, so I'm not entirely sure. Is it next year or is it the year after? It must be the year after.
Gotta be year after.
Can't be. Hold on, let me do a. No. The film is scheduled for release on the 29th of July, 2022.
That'll get pushed.
Yeah,
that'll get pushed. More bloody Star Trek. You sneak this shit in every week, don't you?
Every week, because Star Trek is like the biggest thing on Earth right now. So I think it's Thursday, Friday. News broke. Paramount announced a brand new Star Trek movie. Normally, so far, these things have been in development, but they actually announced they are bringing a new movie to the screens July 2023. Untitled, no script, no casting news, no director. The only thing we know about this is it is being produced by JJ.
Of course.
I don't know how.
What blood? Anybody he works for, it's like, I'll work for you, but you need to give me some part of your soul or something, because he never leaves. It's like he leeches on to anywhere he works. He becomes permanently part of that whole franchise moving forward.
Yeah, but he's just got like a $500 million deal from Warner, right? He's doing Superman over there.
Yeah, and I guarantee moving forward, his name's going to be on every DC film, regardless. Now that always happens.
Yeah, he's gonna go from Superman to rebooting the DC verse.
It's like getting a piece of shit on your shoe, and like you just kind of trail it everywhere. You can't get rid of it, and it just spreads it around your house.
Hold on, have you just called JJ a piece of shit? I'm just excited. There is a new film coming out. I don't know whether this is the case of we just want to get it in the books and get a date, or maybe they have got it all worked out and they're going to release information slowly over the next couple of months.
Is it going to be its own little thing? Are they going to try and do a connected thing with the TV stuff?
No one knows anything
Who
yet.
Who knows?
Yeah.
This is exciting. Finally.
Even more potentially exciting, and maybe not judging by the last Transformer films, but Netflix is doing a live action Gundam movie.
Oh, how dare you? Transformers. Gundam is nothing like Transformers.
It's going to be directed by Jordan Voigt Roberts. And do you know what he did recently? He did the Kong Skull Island film.
Mo.
Yeah.
Add to your list, Kings of Summer. That's his debut
Kings
film.
of Summer.
Yeah. That was his like indie film, coming of age, but beautifully produced. These kids, various issues in their lives, and they decide they're gonna fuck it. They're just gonna disappear into the forest and just kind of live. But it's really good, really good. So he knows how to handle a young cast. He knows how to handle action because he did it with Skull Island, and that was fun, really good. Yeah, I'm actually into this now. I have faith. This could be cool.
I'm pretty sure I have watched some sort of Gundam as a child in the 80s. I'm sure I remember renting something from the VHS store, but I cannot remember anything.
There are tons of films and series of Gundam Wing and Gundam this, that, and the other.
Is there any particular Gundam that you would recommend somebody to watch if they wanted to familiarize themselves?
No. too much of it. It's gonna be cool.
So what is the case? So this is not like Voltron where they're all different ships and then they combine together to form like one giant robot?
Memory serves, I don't believe that's the case. They're all just individual, like,
so they're giant,
military
giant
robots. Yeah.
But with people inside.
Yeah, people inside.
This is going to be Transformers bad, isn't it?
No, but like I said, I like the director, so this could be good with him.
Yeah,
and he's not. Hopefully, doesn't get too much interference.
Two more pieces of small news before we kick into like our MCU revisit. But Andy Samberg was recently interviewed where he kind of hinted that the whole cast would very much like to do a sequel to Palm Springs. So Palm Springs just popped up on Amazon Prime last week.
what do you do though? They've done the gimmick, so what? I guess it's called Thingy Springs, so they have to kind of go back to the same location. But what do you?
No, he's very much in the case of like they would like to do another one if the script is right? If they come up with a really good idea. But hey, I mean, the first film was so good, I'd definitely give them a shot at doing a sequel. But they just got to do the same thing again. I'd watch those two, in another film in a heartbeat.
Yeah, you really enjoyed that.
Oh, I really absolutely did.
It was a nice film.
Yeah. And lastly, so Shazam 2 casting news, right? So yesterday, the director of Shazam 2 revealed that Lucy Liu was going to be playing the villain. But did you see how he did it?
No.
Oh, I should have sent you the tweet. So he basically, David F. Sandberg basically published a tweet of Lucy Liu from Kill Bill, where she decapitates that guy and is holding his head like this, right? But what they've done is they put Zach Levy's face superimposed into that picture.
That's good. I'm happy about that because I like Lucy Liu, and for some reason, it's weird. Hollywood's a weird thing where some actors, for whatever no logical reason, they just kind of get kicked out and they just disappear. And it's like she was doing Elementary for a while, but
but she was she was on a roll. I mean, like 2000, she was like one of the most famous women like in the business, right?
They just vanish.
But did she disappear and vanish, or did she go off and start a family? Because that's what that generally does happen to a lot of like female actresses.
I don't remember her. She could have, and I just never heard of it. But I don't necessarily remember her having kids in the family. She was doing Elementary though. She was doing TV for a while. That ran for a bunch. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it'd be nice to see her back on the big screen.
But after seeing that yesterday, I was thinking, on my shelf, I bought.
Yeah, she does have kids. She doesn't have a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There you go. Like a lot of them just go off. I want to be mums, right, and do like the normal stuff. I was thinking, I've got on my shelf. I bought almost 2 Christmases ago the Charlie's Angels 4K. I thought, you know what? I was seeing this. I was like, you know what? I want to go revisit that now.
First one.
Because she was pretty good in that. Yeah.
Yeah. She was fun. So, guys, now it's time for our MCU rewatch. And this week, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Mark, 2014.
Have you watched this since the cinema?
Right. So I saw it at the cinema. I actually went to the cinema with a female somebody who was not a superhero fan, would never have watched a film like this, and actually said, I can't believe I'm going to watch like a comic book film. And absolutely loved it. Laughed so much. I thought somebody was gonna like rock up and tell her to stop like laughing so much. And then just fell in love with the soundtrack. Awesome. I remember, so a couple of years ago, I was doing a rewatch. And I remember I got to Guardians of the Galaxy, and again, it must have been a case of I just was not in the mood for this film, because I was just finding it so difficult to watch. Which is why I was really worried. I was really worried about this rewatch. But man, I sat down, I put it on, I had my dinner, I had the lights low. I was so into it. How
could you be uninterested watching it? Are you like bipolar mode, just undiagnosed? Like, what's going on?
Sometimes it just happens. Like sometimes you watch a film and you're just not in the mood for it, and you just can't get into it. But this watch was like, so the very first thing that stands out, this ain't your normal Marvel film, right? They have literally thrown out the rule book.
Yep.
They've taken away the Earth setting. This is like completely off the wall bonkers.
Oh yeah. The perfect cast to do it.
Oh, brilliant casting. Like, would you, I mean, you used to watch Parks and Recs, right?
Yeah. No, I
Did you ever could you ever think like watching Parks and Recs, right?
Never.
That it would be the fat guy who played the idiot boyfriend of Aubrey Plaza would go to become like the international superstar.
Never. It does blow my mind looking back at it.
Yeah.
Could you have ever seen it as the closest alternative to him, the person who got down to the last hurdle but never quite got over it?
Who else is there?
I'll give you a clue. His character in his TV show is Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. No, hold on. It's Reynolds.
Character.
Oh, hold on. What, the from
Always
It's Always
Sunny.
Sunny?
Yeah, he was nearly
Oh,
That would have been interesting. Yeah,
you
that
would
would
have
have been
seen. It would have been a different Star Lord.
very, very different
It
style.
would have been more on the psycho. You'd have had to have an R rating for that one.
Yeah, well, yeah. Apparently, he got down real close to it.
Yeah, he must have some hidden talent then.
He's just a good actor.
Yeah.
He is always good whenever he pops in stuff. So,
Yeah, but he always plays the same character.
yeah, crazy cycle.
Yeah. I mean, there is so many things I could say about this film. I've never seen a film where they actually make a CGI animal like Rocket. You just feel like a real person, right?
So good.
You absolutely forget that he is just like a renderer on a computer, and I just
Supposed to be
love the
British.
moment. Supposed to be British.
Yeah, character's actually a Cockney. Everyone's saying, remember when they were making this, it was like Jason Statham has to be Rocket Raccoon because that's kind of what his comic book sort of iteration was always described as being like.
Did anyone tell anyone that there are no? I don't think we don't have raccoons in this country, do we?
Of course. Yeah.
Aren't raccoons American things?
I don't think we do, but then again, there's a bunch of weird shit up north that we don't really deal with much. Yeah. I'm sure they got some raccoons out there.
You know, there's the bit right at the end of the movie where Rocket Raccoon is crying because Groot is dead, and Batista is sitting next to him, and he just like goes over and starts like petting him, and he just sits up. Yeah.
Even just having Batista in this, like, just the thought of Batista being in a major Marvel movie was like, what? But it works amazingly.
Yeah, it is. It's a laugh a minute. They're genuinely. The film genuinely made me laugh out loud several times. There is some really funny stuff going in it. Everyone knows it's a ridiculous plot, but like they play it so like straight faced that it is just superb. And this is again watching these films like week after week. You're starting to see the different layers, right? Is this the first time that we genuinely get told about the Infinity Stones?
I believe it is.
Yes, because it's very explicit. Because I've been waiting for that. They've never really mentioned it up until now.
It's the first time that the first time they give you a clear explanation. If they had mentioned the word Infinity Stones in some way beforehand, this is the first time you actually understand what they are. Because what's it? The Collector.
Yes.
Benicio del Toro kind of shows you and talks about the Eternals, all of them, the people that created it and what they were used for. Yeah. So very much needed.
And you get that whole because we've had the Tesseract before. They've mentioned that by name, but I don't think they've ever mentioned Infinity Stones.
Yeah, you really feel like they've kind of figured out what their roadmap is. Like they were still kind of, they didn't start all the Marvel movies knowing where they were going to go. They kind of had a loose idea, but now they know it. All right, full steam ahead. It's all clear. The railroads are the rails are laid. Let's do this. Full steam.
This is one of those sort of properties that everyone was saying it's an unknown. Why are they doing it?
Won't work. And you get James Gunn, the guy who just did like a cool horror movie and not really much else, to direct this. Like, this ain't gonna work. And he's proved himself to be one of the hottest directors. It's because of this why I have faith in Suicide Squad. Because you can see the energy, you can see the playfulness in the trailers for that.
There is, but I am then also reminded of how much I didn't enjoy Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
It's not as bad as you remember it being, more.
And I'm hoping that is the case when we get to it in a couple of months' time.
Oh, months, Jesus Christ. Yeah. And it does make a real difference, the 80s soundtrack. It shouldn't work. It shouldn't work being in a sci-fi setting, in a modern day sci-fi, but it just kind of sets everything off so nicely.
80s music transcends any setting or genre. But I do want to ask a serious question here. He's had that tape for like 20 odd years, right? Is it 25 years or whatever?
So, yeah.
That is a good quality tape that it is still fucking work. Do you remember like how like those things get chewed up?
Yep. It would either get chewed up or just snap. Yeah. You should have digitized it a long time ago.
Yeah, well, there is. I'm thinking like he's in the place where they've got ships. Surely they've got like digital technology, right? And he must have had to constantly replace parts on that Walkman, right? He's definitely had to do something to the battery pack.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, because you're not finding Duracells in outer space.
And let's be honest now, there is no effing way. Let's just round it off to 20 years. There is no way you're gonna just listen to one cassette, one 60-minute. That's how long they were. 60-minute cassette every day for 20 years. That would drive you insane.
Well, unless it reminds him of home, and that music in outer space just sucks.
It don't matter if it reminds you of home. It comes a point where it's like, I can't take this no more. I can't listen to the Jackson 5 no more.
Yeah, but it saved his life. Well, no, wasn't Jackson 5 on Volume 2?
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, because
You're
remember,
right.
because you hear the Jackson 5 at the end when he gets the new tape.
Yeah, right.
How gutted must he have been when he opened that and thought, I could have been listening to new music all this time.
No, so crazy. Yeah, how bad is alien music?
Yeah, but that music saves his life, right? Because he does that when the dance off, when he goes, "What are you doing? It's a dance off."
Distracting you. Yeah, it's too fucking cool. It's too fun. And it works.
It's a very, very, very fun. It's and it looks beautiful as well, right? You've got like an alien setting that's away from Earth, has the potential to really go wrong, but they just hold it so well together. And even the other actors, you know, what's her name? Zoe Saldana plays her role to just perfection.
Oh, what was the name of the actress that was supposed to play that role as well? Did you ever see the? Oh man, why am I blanking on everything, man? It's pointless. I can't remember. But Zoe Saldana again wasn't supposed to be the original actress for that role. It was another actress who decided to turn it down because it was too weird. She couldn't understand the world that it was set in, and she since admitted that she regrets it greatly because her career, she's basically disappeared off of a cliff since.
I can also imagine having to like wear that green makeup like all across your face and arms and whatever could also be.
She did mention that as well, but hey, man, it's a small price for actually having a career.
That at least is not the worst makeup, right? If you watch something like Star Wars or Star Trek, some of those, especially like Star Trek, where you've got like this, like Michael Dorn having to wear a Klingon thing like every day for like 7 seasons,
or frigging Jennifer Lawrence having to have a whole body covered in it constantly. That would have been bad.
Right. What's the
Amanda
next?
Seyfried.
Oh, right.
She was going to play it from Jennifer's body. Remember, where's she been for like 10 years? She's just vanished. Poor thing.
RTO. So what's the next movie?
Yeah, so Age of Ultron and then Ant-Man. Interesting little mix there. It'd be nice to give Age of Ultron another chance. Not a movie that I hated, but it just didn't live up to the original Avengers film.
I think this is the only MCU movie I've seen twice at the cinema.
Wow, why did you see it twice?
Because I went to see it once, and then I remember a couple of friends of mine were discussing going to watch it, and I was just like, instead of talking about watching it, let's go watch it. And we all just went and watched it.
Wow, you must have really loved it the first time.
I actually did not mind it. I know some people had a lot of problems with this one.
Yeah.
But I was not one of those. It'll be interesting to see whether that's different now that when I watch it this time around.
All right, guys. Well, you heard it first. Tune in next week to find out whether it still holds up. Simone, how can I get in contact with us if they wish to do so?
Folks, if you want to get in contact with us, we are, if you want to email us, we are at tatmpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to tweet at us, we are Talking Movies 3. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, we are Talking at the Movies.
Don't forget, tweet us if I want to hear your opinions on Kung Fu. Definitely that. And Nevers, possibly.
And Thunder Force.
Oh, God, yeah, and that as well. Oh, jeez. Anyway, for myself, Federace.
And me, Mo.
See you guys next week. Later.